All right, everybody, we are back for another New York Mets postgame. I had to take off the night yesterday. So much stuff going on. I know I'm not going to get into politics at all, but I just want to say one thing before anything. We got to remember 9/11, 24 years ago. I was in third grade, and I remember it like yesterday. There's still people who are falling from that. And I know one thing, our friend Terry Collins over on the Terry Collins show, obviously the former manager, is deeply involved with Tunnels to Towers. So we say a prayer for these people who are still facing these hardships, especially there's still firefighters and first responders and people that live in the area. They're still passing away from diseases related to 9/11. So I would like to say a prayer for them. And listen, I'm not going to get involved in politics. I put it out in front. You guys all know this is a Christian-based podcast. We are more conservative leaning, but I don't want to get political at all. What happened to Charlie Kirk devastated me personally. I'm not saying I agree with everything he said. I'm not going to say that. I know it's a sports podcast, but that should not happen. And it had a major, I'm going to break down on live stream, a major effect on me yesterday and my family. And that's why I didn't go live. And I spoke to Dan about it. So I just want to pray for peace for him and his family, the people of 9/11, and may God lead them in their endeavors. And I know, they're all in a better place, and I hope that people can continue to get better and science improves for the people of 9/11, especially with those cancer-related illnesses that are oh so terrible. So in God's name, we pray for them in Jesus Christ, who is my Lord and Savior, and I hope yours as well. And hopefully this podcast can help you lead you down that road. But with that said, let's get into the post game. Appreciate you guys being here. Please like and subscribe if it's your first time here. Show some love to the channel. And let's be real. Time to get into it. Is this season over? It's actually, I can't believe on September 11th, we are having this conversation. It's almost like a New York Jets season. Like, what the hell happened? This team is rudderless. 5 hit, Jesus Luzardo. How do you put up 4 runs that early and then lose and just completely no-show as we go through the box score? The Mets put up 4 runs in the first. You got the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, get absolutely nothing. And it all starts with the top of the lineup. Something we've talked about on this program for way too long. 1 through 4 today. They're 3 for 16. 3 for 16. 7 strikeouts. Lindor's batting average on the season down to 263, and I got a better one for you. Entering today, Francisco Lindor, the month of September, the most crucial month of baseball. Let's be real. This is where the men get separated from the boys. Entering today, 167, the month of September. Francisco Lindor, right now, is 6 for 34 on this in the month of September. 6 for 34. And we all know, and it's almost like a detriment to this team. We all go as far as he takes us. Now, you can't get on Juan Soto. It's funny because not too long ago, think about it. We all got on Juan Soto. He doesn't care. He's lackadaisical. He's goofing off with the other team, so on and so forth. But he's the only guy that gives a crap right now. Now he's the only one hitting. I mean, for some reason, and we got to get on Mendoza. Why are you leaving Reed Garrett in for 3 runs? Why? The biggest series of the year. Now let's flip to the other bats. Pete Alonso, got to be better. Think about this. This is game, 12, 11? Pete Alonso has 0 home runs. Or 0 home runs in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In 9 of his last games, 0 home runs. 3 RBIs in his last 10 games. That should tell you a lot. 3. 2 walks. You're looking at his walk-to-hit ratio. So he's got 11 hits and 41 at-bats, 12 strikeouts. And you go up and down this lineup right now, it's everywhere. Lindor has a strikeout. Soto, strikeout. Alonso today, the biggest game of the season, 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts. Vientos, 2 strikeouts. Marte, 2 strikeouts. McNeil, 2 strikeouts. Acuna, 0 for 3. Everybody was screaming for Luis Angel Acuna as his OPS dips to almost 550. Francisco Alvarez, 0 for 1. Obviously, you have Sanger with the strikeout. Outside, let's see. The only person that didn't have a strikeout today was Thomas Nido. And then you get to the pitching. And let's be Peterson was kind of cruising to start. He goes 5, gives you 3, and then Reed Garrett, fresh off the IL, dives right back where he left off. 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 1 walk, 3 earned runs. Game, set, match. And you know what really ticks me off? I'll be honest with you guys. You bring in Edwin Diaz in a 2-run game, right? Why couldn't he do that the last 2 weeks? Because now all of a sudden this team's got a sense of urgency that Carlos Mendoza is changing the way he's managing this team. And I will say this too. I haven't seen the post-game conference as of today. I'm sure we'll have clips of it. But another thing, why is Mendoza going after the pitching staff yesterday when we score 1 run? It's always okay for him to attack the pitching staff, but he refuses to hold these hitters accountable. And another thing, weird. All of a sudden, Eric Chavez has kept his mouth closed. He's got nothing to say. Mr. Eric Chavez, the great hitting coach, has no problem going at fans over on Instagram, has absolutely nothing to say when it's at adversity time. Like, I cannot believe we just got swept in a 4-game series. The Phillies just showed us we were all gleeful a month ago when we swept them when we were here. Very frustrating. Super frustrating. And I'm contemplating. I got invited to tomorrow night's game, to Grom Tong. Is it really worth watching this team right now and live in person? Spending more of my money on this team? They don't show heart. Right now, if I were to ask you, who is the leader of this team, you could not name them. And we have this over from Greg Giannotti on WFAN. And typically, I destroy Greg Giannotti. Don't like what he has to say. But he was balls on today. Greg Giannotti, quote, if they somehow don't make the playoffs, which is looking more and more likely, let's be real. How confident are you we're going to win tomorrow? If they somehow don't make the playoffs, there's going to have to be a major shakeup in this core. And a lot of people are asking, Ray, what is the core? I see your questions over on X and on Facebook. What is the core of this team? That tells you Alonso, gone. Nimmo, potentially traded. The only person that I'm a lock to bring back right now is Edwin Diaz when he opts out. You cannot let him walk. The most consistent thing this organization has had over the last decade is Edwin Diaz. You got to bring him back. He's going to opt out. You got to pay him whatever the hell he wants. But guys, I'm being honest with you. I really feel in my heart of hearts, if we miss the playoffs, Pete Alonso is as good as gone. Because David Stearns is going to get exactly what he wants. We know in the offseason, he didn't want Alonso back. We said it here. We saw reports of it. He did not want Pete Alonso back at all. Gets him on the team-friendly 1-year deal. This could clearly justify him saying, I know better. My guy, Ryan Clifford, is in AAA, ready to take over. We'll spend the money somewhere else, or we won't spend the money at all. That's my biggest fear. My biggest fear is we barely missed the playoffs. And then David Stern says, "Oh, we have a young farm system coming back, so we're gonna run it with them. We're gonna run it with the Sproats, the Tongues, the McLeans." This team needs a real leader. And let's be honest too. We're sitting across the country. The Giants are rolling, and Drew Gilbert, former New York Met who got traded for a rental reliever, he's not doing great for them, but he's an emotional leader. A lot of times when we see these teams go on these runs, it's because they have young players who are hungry, who are emotional, who don't know any better. The Mets right now, and I told this Dan earlier when we were talking on the phone, the Mets are old. Nimmo, 30s. Alonso, 30s. Lindor, 30s. Mullins, how's that working out? Tyron Taylor, less than suitable. The starting pitching staff coming into the season, Manaea, 30s. Peterson, 30s. All these guys. Literally all of these guys. Everyone's screaming for Jose Quintana. What are the odds he would have came here and done what he did in Milwaukee? I look around. Where is the youth? What star have we brought up through our own system outside of Pete Alonso almost a decade ago? 7 years since we brought up anybody with impact. And again, I understand a lefty's on the mound. Why isn't Brett Baty playing? Why? It literally makes no sense. Brett Baty, the month of September, he's played in 1, 2. He's the only guy that's got the first 2 games he plays in Philly, or the first and third, he gets a hit. 1 for 2, 1 for 1. So against Philly this series, he's 2 for 4, but let's not play him against the lefty. In the month of September, Brett Baty's played in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. He's hitting .304 with an .838 OPS. But let's sit him. One of the guys who's got a 900 plus OPS in the 9 hole. Let's sit him. And guys, you got to give us credit for one thing. I know a lot of you guys feel the same way I do as well. This team has something wrong with it up here. There's no killer instinct with this team. And we've been saying it since May. Literally since May, we've been saying it. There's something intellectually, I'll say intellectually, but there's no dog in the fight. Outside of McNeil throwing his helmet every once in a while, what do you see? You have Ron Darling talking about the Mets need another players only meeting. You just got your asses kicked in 4 against Philly. Just simply unacceptable. But I'm going to get to some of your guys' chats. I'm not going to keep it long today. I appreciate you guys being here. If you're enjoying the content, leave a thumbs up and make sure you turn on those notifications. I can't stress that enough. So many people are saying, Ray, I never see your live streams. Got to have those notifications on so you get notified. But we're going to start it off with it first. Philly, appreciate it. Super chat from Philly over on YouTube. Philly says, top of ninth, 3 Ks from our 3 sluggers. Thanks. Dude, we have 0 comebacks this year after the 8th. 0. Philly, you really expected different, bro? I don't know what the record is. Somebody in the chat, do me a favor. Put the record right now after the 8th inning. It's all of our losses. It's insane. It's embarrassing right now. Absolutely embarrassing. I see a lot of people commenting over on X. If you want to get involved in the conversation, head on over to YouTube or Facebook. Brad says, wow, this was a disgrace. I agree. Clue, appreciate you chiming in. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Amen to that, brother. God gained a good one yesterday. Ryan, I don't want to hear you got to believe this team has no heart. We're not making the playoffs. I agree, Ryan. And you know what I hate to say? We have people on the media on this show. You guys see them. Good people. Not, remember, you got to remember this. A lot of the people that we bring on that cover the team, they're not Mets fans like us. They don't bleed blue and orange. watching every game, going to games, meeting players, going to the amazing events, pouring your blood, sweat, and tears, passing it down generation to generation. My daughter's in the living room in the ninth inning screaming, "Let's go Mets." And it's like, we suck. But it's like, I got to pass it down. I bleed blue and orange like you guys. But a lot of the writers were telling us, Ray, you gotta understand. It's the Mets are gonna make the playoffs. 98% chance. I kept hearing that. How many people on Facebook and on X sent me direct messages saying, Ray, look, Fangraphs has that 98%. Hell, one of our sponsors, shout out to them, Polymarket, who's not a YouTube sponsor, they're an X sponsor, but not Polymarket, excuse me, BetUS. The Mets have plus 800 odds as of yesterday to make it to the World Series. That's pretty damn good. I don't get it. How does the math tell you that? And everybody keeps saying, well, look at this lineup, the 1 through 5. If Vientos gets right, by the way, Mark Vientos, let's call it. Look, he had a hit today. You want to say that? Fine. But where the hell has he been? Coming into today, the month of September, talk about he had an okay August, a great August, 988 OPS. The month of September, Mark Vientos, outside of today, has played in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games, 207 batting average. 207. You want to say his OPS is 806? Fine. But 207 batting average is not going to get it done at the major league level. The Mets have way too many guys that aren't hitting. I would love to get on the pitching staff, but the strength of this team is supposed to be the lineup, and they've been terrible. We are literally relying on 3 rookies in the starting rotation, and we're asking Pete Alonso to go back to April and May, Pete Alonso. Someone's got to explain to me what the hell's happened to Francisco Lindor. I mean, he's literally reversed his season. Every year, we're used to Francisco Lindor being terrible in late March, in April, before turning it on in mid-May into June. This year, came out the gates hot, and he's finishing it off the exact opposite. And I'm not giving him a pass. Everyone keeps saying, well, he's having an okay. I'm not giving him a pass. The okay seasons or the good seasons, that is for suckers now. This is about September, playoff baseball. You can't reinforce last year's team with a guy like Juan Soto in a league where 12 out of 30 teams make the playoffs. Nearly half the damn league makes the playoffs. And I'll tell you one person who's definitely not happy right now, and that's Steve Cohen. But let's keep it moving. Jim, appreciate it. The super chat. You don't have to do that. Anytime you guys super chat, I can't tell you how much it's appreciated. They help support the channel. The members, of course, they're paid members, $2 a month. You guys help support the channel. And believe it or not, that's what helps me get guests. Doing this is not free. And believe me, I'm more than willing to spend my money. I did it for the first 3 years. And I still do it to this day. The giveaways. And by the way, if you guys are interested, I'm going to give you guys a little heads up. We have partnered with our friends at Homage once again. For any of you guys who don't know, Homage does like old school. Let me see if I don't have it. You guys ever see that blue hoodie that I have? My favorite hoodie of all time. It's got the circle, the blue Mets. They're so silky soft from Homage. They reached out to me and they want to give away a t-shirt, which could be the Lindor t-shirt, the Lindor smile shirts you always see me wearing, obviously not right now, and a hoodie. That's going to be over on X. It's going to drop around noon tomorrow. So if you're not following us over on X, be sure to head over there. They approved it. They reached out to us. Super stoked. I'm actually getting one of those hoodies too. And I just wanted to put that out there. You guys don't have to enter, of course, but figure I'd give you the heads up so you guys don't miss out on it. Let's see what else we got going on. Andre, there's no way Mendoza is back. I agree with you. Please explain how an owner who has spent $350 million, $380, I hear it's closer to watch your GM who makes $10 million a year make terrible decisions, also terrible decisions. Why keep him? David Stearns is not going anywhere. It's just not, bro. It ain't happening. But I will say this. I do think Mendoza has a shot to be gone. And everyone disagrees with me. Well, David Stearns just gave him the vote of confidence. Yeah, that was last week when the Mets were what, 3, 4, 5 games up? What are we now? I don't think the other teams are playing all right now or today even. Let me take a look. Let's see. We got the Royals. No. Rockies, Padres, Angels, Mariners, Washington. Nope. So pretty much everybody that's behind us just gained a half a game on us. They're all off today. Just want to verify that. So wait, I'm not spreading misinformation at all. Oh my God. A game and a half up on the Reds and the Giants, and we got Texas and DeGrom tomorrow. Fellas, and ladies, 6-game losing streak, 3-7 over our last 10. Same with San Diego. San Diego's better. Got to watch out too. Their lead that was pretty damn good is down to 3.5 as they're also 3-7. But to think the division lead that we had, trying to remember what the max was. What was it? 5 or 6 games? I believe it was. To think that the Phillies have 87 wins and we're at 76. Just pathetic. I know a lot of people keep saying June 13th. We all know what happened on that day. Keep it there. Steven's chiming in. This team, Flatten just gave up. Hopefully they actually care next to it, but I don't doubt it. I guess next series, next year. I don't get it. This team needs youth exuberance. And let's be real, Acuna ain't the answer. He can't hit. He just can't. Gregory, appreciate you. Gregory, shout out to you. He just became a member. Much appreciated that. Goes along to help the Discord. And guys, as you know, becoming a member guarantees you getting your questions read live. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Some guests have reached out to me that I'm going to be having on in the off season. Hopefully some former players I've been talking with and maybe one current player. Can't tell you who it is. But somebody says he's kind of like a squirrel. But I will say this. The members aren't always going to be guaranteed to talk to them, but any questions we do take or comments will be members only with that stuff. With that said, Bob, one of our members over on Facebook, my best friend is a Texas Ranger fan. I can't watch the next series because I know I'll be embarrassed. There's nothing worse than that. Let me explain it to you. As my in-laws are Yankee fans, it is a dogfight. I come home the other day and my daughter committed blasphemy. They had her in an Aaron Judge shirt. And I told them, if they ever dare do that again, they will not see her. There's one thing in my house I will never, ever allow. And that is my daughter, about to be daughters in December, to be wearing Yankees gear. Never, ever. Stand strong in your convictions. Bleed blue and orange. Let's keep going on. Guys, I know some of the comments are a little heated because of the political climate right now. I don't want to get into politics. I just said my piece because it's my platform, and I appreciate everybody that's in here, of course. Henry. Alonso has to go. Nimmo has to go. McNeil has to go. Alvarez has to go. Minaya has to go. Senga has to go. Peterson has to go. Entire bullpen has to go. The issue is, and we've been saying it, Minaya ain't going anywhere, folks. He's just not. 2 years, $50 million. Now, the only solace you could take, and listen, we don't want injuries ever, but the Mets are going to get a vast majority of Frankie Montas's contract back next year because of the injury. So I'm sure insurance or something like that's going to be kicking in with that, and that's how that'll lead. But outside of that, Nimmo's got what, 5 years and $20 million a year left? Let's fact check that really quick live. Let's take a peek. He is, oh my gosh. Brandon Nimmo is not a free agent until after 2030. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years left. And 4 of those years, he's making $20.5 million. That's your future DH, ladies and gentlemen. So anybody thinking we're going after Kyle Schwarber or anything like that, it ain't happening. No way. That's what happens. Now, look, that's what happens when you heard Steve Cohen this offseason talk about not wanting to have all these players on long-term deals, only the special ones. That's why Pete Alonso's going to be gone. And don't misinterpret it. I would take Pete Alonso back on a 5-year deal. But he said he wants a contract till he's 40. What is that, 9 years? Maybe he settles for 7. Can't do it. Because I can't have Brandon Nimmo at 34, 35 who can't walk, Alonso that old, Soto on 10 more years after that. Just can't with these young guns. There's a reason why the Mets didn't want to trade Ryan Clifford at the deadline, Jet Williams at the deadline, Carson Bench at the deadline. These guys are the future of this team. And I think out of all of them, Jet's going to be a star. And I'm starting to think from people that I've spoken to, the Ernest Doves, the reports that I've been seeing, I think we might have something crazy good in Carson Bench. And shout out to Mitch Voigt. A lot of people killed the Mets for taking him with their first-round pick and David Stearns. Both of David Stearns' both first-round picks looked like complete studs. If you guys want to take a look at this past year's first-round pick, look up Mitch Voigt's defensive highlights down on the farm. Talk about an amazing glove. Agile. Kid's a boss. Frank, one of the members, checks in. The Mets suck, Ray. Plain and simple. Mendy, head should roll. Personally, I'd fire Stearns. We got to get the Stearns firing out of our heads. The guy's owed $1 bajillion. Ain't happening. Guys, if you're cursing in the comments, I'm not bringing it up. Sorry. Jay says, get rid of Alonso, McNeil, Marte. Once they fall behind, they give up. Marte's gone. Think about that, what you just said. 2 out of the 3 are free agents. I would actually, if Marte's willing to come back on a 1-year, $7 million deal plus incentives, I would do it. We need leadership somewhere. Don't forget, they asked Juan Soto, who's the leader of this team. He straight out said, right off the rip, wasn't Lindor, said Marte. Maybe because he's friends with him. Richard says Alonso is good as gone. Write it down. Clifford is the first baseman next year. You know who I actually think is going to start the season at first base? It's going to be Mark Vientos. That's what it is. ACJ, Tongue isn't ready for a full MLB season. I agree, but he's kind of being forced into it. Let's be real. Let's be real. Ines, thank God the Reds and Giants aren't playing today. Yeah, well, we'd probably wake up a half game, you know? ACJ, it's a good point. Drew Goober wouldn't shine with his Soto on this team. Like, I wouldn't compare him to Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's tearing it up. Rodgers came here and was terrible. Frank says, when you have this much talent on the team and they gave this many losing streaks, you have to look at the manager. It's more than just the manager. I'm wondering, I'm curious, would they send Carlos Beltran down? Would they? Something to consider, right? They wanted him years ago. I think a lot of Mets fans adore him. Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate Kevin Thomas, Jesus, 0-63. Oh my gosh. That is terrible. Scrolling through some of these comments. Yeah, YouTuber, what a disappointment season. Patrick says, rest in peace, Mets. Brutal, man. And what sucks is they're doing, it's not like, look, it's not the Braves. The Braves have been out of it for 2 months. So there's nothing like, okay, you're out of it. Go enjoy your summer. I mean, I gave up dinners. I gave up time with friends. Obviously, I'm here with you guys, so I appreciate it. And I've made a lot of friends in this community, so I can't thank you guys enough. Great friends here. But it's like, you give up so much. I took my daughter to her first game. Probably the best day of my life outside of getting married, honey. Love you. But my daughter's screaming, let's go, Mets. It's like, obviously the political climate. We hold on to sports. We hold on to our Mets. 9/11 today, the nostalgia. Next year's 25 years. I can't believe it. I woke up this morning thinking about, obviously, Charlie and 9/11. It's like you remember it. And for you guys, I'm 32 years old. I was in third grade. I remember it like it was yesterday. And it's like you see the presidents at Yankee Stadium. They did the moment of silence. Good for them. I believe everybody around the league did. Shout out to the Philly fans. And I can't, one-time exception. Seeing the flags, never forget. You're hoping that bring the country together and our Mets together. Have some fight for New York. Where is that grit? We've been calling for this forever. Where is the New York grit? And I'm not even a Knicks fan, but I'm man enough to admit when I see grittiness, toughness. The Knicks represented last year what it meant to play in New York. I think that's a big reason why guys like Ryan Helsley are failing. He's not built for this. I think Juan Soto is, and believe it or not, I think Lindor is too, and Pete. But at the end of the day, your performance needs to match your value or what you're being paid. And it's simply not. And I know BT and Sal talked about this very recently on their show. Mendoza always seems to hit the wrong button when calling on someone to come in. And today, bringing in Reed Garrett, we all knew we were screwed. Jim chiming in with a super chat. Jim, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it. This team has a mind virus. I don't care how they do it, but others other than Soto, Diaz, and the young starters, nobody should return. My friend, I do not think you are wrong. The issue is prior regimes gave out bad contracts. Bill and David Stearns gave out bad contracts. Sean Manaea is a bad contract. David Peterson after next year, you let him walk. Enough of signing mediocrity. Sean Manaea, we all knew right off the rip, was a bad signing. You're telling me 3 years, $36 million? Okay. 3 years, $40 million? I could go for that. Hell, 3 years, $45 million? I would go for it. 3 years, $75 million for a guy who's never been an all-star, who's never had anything close to a sub-3 ERA is unacceptable. It just is. And Stearns is going to get a pass. He's not going anywhere. I see a lot of people in the comments, fire Stearns. It ain't happening. So get over it. We got to deal in reality here. That's what we deal with on this show. We deal in X's and O's, not the Jimmys and Joes, reality. So I don't want to hear fire Stearns. It ain't happening. But bringing back Stanek after what he did in the postseason last year, having him be in the role that he was this year cannot happen. Ryan Helsley, terrible. It's just very wrong. Madeline, yes, Ray, Christ is my God. Absolutely. Amen to that. I know we have a lot of new listeners in here. We are a Christian faith-based Mets podcast. Nobody's perfect, believe me. We all sin, but try to spread the love of God and positivity when we can, but we keep it a buck. Dolo, can they give away some runs to the Mets? I'll reach out to my rep at Homage. I'll let them know. I'll say, instead of the t-shirt, can you throw us a run or two? Klub says, bring in Girardi. No way happening, bro. It's just not. I hate to say it, Stearns is going to want a yes man. That's why if you could bring in a former player who's got player experience dealing with a major league clubhouse, and that's one thing you might say, hey, Mendoza doesn't have. Yeah, Mendoza was the bench coach for the Yankees for forever, but he's never played the game. But I get a lot of managers haven't played the game, but sometimes it might not hurt when you have stars running around a locker room. Maybe having a former player knowing how to deal with that or an experienced manager. You have Carlos Mendoza, who's a rookie, who's dealing with stars like Alonso, Lindor, Soto, Diaz, a pitching staff that's in shambles. I mean, let's be real. If the Mets had to make a choice between Carlos Mendoza and Jeremy Hefner, I think they're choosing Hefner. And I'm one of those guys. Listen, after this year, kiss Hefner's rear end. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. Goodbye. See you later, Hef. Thank you for the good memories. But we can't keep giving him a pass. What he did last year was great. But that can't mean anything towards this year coming up. It just can't. Let me see. I'm seeing if any other members chimed in. Buzz, what's going on? Complete meltdown. Yeah. Rob, sell the team. Get out of here. Get out of here with that. Buzz, one of our members chiming in. None will take on Nimmo's contract. Agreed. Alonso as good as gone. I love to see McNeil gone. Trade Vientos too. McNeil's been one of the only real consistent hitters on this team. Let's be real. Those are just facts. But guys, I'm going to leave it off there. Appreciate everybody chiming in. Before we leave, once again, I said it yesterday in a tweet. Love your family. Give them hugs. Squeeze your kids tight if you have them and if you're looking forward to them. Spread the gospel. Pray for Charlie and his family. Pray for the survivors and the deceased of 9/11. Try to make the world a better place if you can. Let's go Mets.